We're joined by 2017 BlueClaws left-handed pitcher Nick Fanti, who threw not one but two no-hitters that year, the first of which was in early May, Columbia, 2017. Nick joins us from Long Island, where he's waiting out, and hopefully we'll get word that he'll get to go back to Florida and play some baseball here pretty soon. Nick, how are you?
Good, Greg. Just waiting this out, like you said.
Yeah.
Just hoping to play again.
So you missed last year, 2019, with an injury. How did you feel? How's everything going as you were getting ready for 2020 there in March?
Everything's going well. When during spring training, I was starting to build up innings. Build up seeing hitters, and I was looking to get on track to be pitching early in the season. And then all this happened. So you can't predict it. So it's
Sure.
The good part is I'm here at 100% health. Ready to go back whenever it's time. So excited.
What have you been doing since you got home to kind of stay ready?
I got into trying to do my part with social distancing and everything. I try to be as efficient as possible by myself, but obviously it's hard when it comes to throwing sometimes. But I started plyo ball program, which is just like weighted balls and using those, doing drills with those, to keep my arm in shape. I usually throw those off a handball wall down at the school, and then I'll throw some baseballs off the wall as well. And I ran through a few baseballs over the past few weeks too, because that wall's been chewing them out.
Yeah. How often have the Phillies been in touch throughout this whole process here, these last 2 months?
Pretty much every day. They check in. I've been going to like physical therapy at home as well, and they're on top of that. They're always checking in, seeing if I need anything, and help with whatever work I could do, and also for ideas, for workouts and whatnot.
All right, so let's go back 3 years now. You threw those two no-hitters. We'll start with the first one in Columbia, May of that year. What do you remember most about the game? You went 8 2/3. Trevor Betancourt got the last out to finish it off. Looking back, what do you remember most about that game?
I remember a few things. I can remember a few early plays. I can remember a diving play by Brito. I can remember a diving play by Cord Sandberg in the outfield, and a dribbler in front of home plate that Edgar Cabral made a nice play on. And also being in like the 6th or 7th inning and kind of realizing it. And if you remember, it started to rain a little, and I was like, I hope I don't get rained on. Like, don't have a chance to finish this game at all. And then lastly, being taken out, Marty Malloy, he took me out of the game. And, I understood the reasoning and everything. It was, a whole pitch count thing. And, it was, I think the pitch count was like 110, and that's it.
113.
113.
Yeah.
And he came out and was basically like, hey, man. Yeah. He's like, hey, man, this isn't really me taking you out. It's just the pitch count. So, but at the same time, they weren't just preserving the no-hitter. They were preserving the win, too, because there was a guy, I think it was first and second with 2 outs. So Trevor came and facing the 3-hitter, I think, Paez, who's a really good hitter. I think he was an all-star that year. And he actually got a hit off me in the all-star game, which is kind of funny. because that was the next time I faced him
That is funny.
in Columbia.
That is funny. I did not even realize that. Yeah, he came in and got the last out. I think they had 2 on, 2 out. Your 113th pitch, you had walked the guy and it was a good at bat. He had fouled off a few pitches, probably about a 8 or 9 pitch at bat, and he got you on a full count. And he walked you. You knew as soon as you walked the guy that Marty was going to take you out. I didn't know I knew the pitch count number. I didn't know what the drop dead number was, but the Phillies had been keeping you guys in the 90s, top out high 90s anyway. So when you got to 113, that was kind of it. Did you approach that batter, the guy you walked before Trevor came in, as like, this is it, I got to get him out, or that's it?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like that. It was I felt like going into the inning, my pitch count was getting pretty high. And also, like, I think I had walked the guy. No, I didn't. I was starting to go deep in the counts, and I was starting to realize, like, all right, like I need to figure out how to get a deep, quick out here.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an error earlier in the inning that kind of made things a little trickier for you. And as you said before, it was a 1-run game. It was 1-0. It wasn't like you guys had a 7-run lead. The Cord made a play, Brito and Cabral.
That got me out of the windup and everything.
Right. Talk about with Edgar Cabral, who caught it for you. Had you worked a lot with him, and what was your relationship like, and how did he help kind of guide you through it calling the game?
It's funny. We look back on that a lot because he had also been in rehab over the past year. And, we talk about it and stuff, and he always says, you didn't shake me off once that whole game. And it just goes like he like, I had the utmost respect for the way he called the games and everything. Like you could tell when you're throwing to a guy who really cares about what's going on, and really analyzes the batters and, what's going on pitch to pitch. And I just really I trusted everything that he put down. So it made that game easy, and it kind of gave a good tempo to the game. So that's probably the most important thing, when you're rolling like that, is, you and the catcher being on the same page, and then it just kind of goes like that, and I think that's kind of what broke up the momentum in the 9th inning was, having to go in the stretch again. Like,
we're talking with 2017 BlueClaws pitcher Nick Fanti. He was an all-star that season. Score savings at the dentist with Choosy, the free, easy-to-use app. Saves you an average of 24% at the dentist. Save more, smile more, learn more at grandslamsavings.com. So the other part of that Columbia game was Tim Tebow was in that lineup. Did you get kind of a kick out of getting to face Heisman Trophy winner?
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, he's a really big guy in the batter's box for sure. I just remember, I think I faced him in the 8th inning, and I remember just like looking in at him, and I just like remember just like looking at his legs, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the biggest person I've ever seen in the batter's box.
Yeah, if I recall, you struck him out with a guy on base in the 8th inning. Is that possible? Or maybe you struck him out at the end of the inning, a 1-2-3 8th inning. But you struck him out in the 8th inning, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the end of the inning.
So that was the first one. You got 26 of the 27 outs. Trevor Betancourt came in and got the last one. The second no-hitter in July that year was a little cleaner. I think you walked the 5th batter of the game, and then and that was it. No pitch count issues, and you got all the way through. That game against Charleston, which was an 11 a.m. game on a Monday, did you think at what point did you realize at that point that you had that you had the no-hitter going?
Yeah. I don't think I woke up to like the 6th inning, to be honest. I remember that game. So usually we had to show up like 2 hours before the game as starters. So, up at like 8 o'clock. And, we were having a tough time getting there. And I can remember walking in after my bullpen before a game. I didn't throw a very good bullpen. And Brian Sweeney, the pitching coach, always said, like, he always brought out like the Nolan Ryan stories about how he would tell the manager, hey, like get someone up early, I'm gonna have a bad day, and then he'd go and throw a no-hitter. He did that a few times for me that season, and 2 of them particularly were on both those no-hitter days. He told me that, and just kind of, yeah, I don't know about today. And I remember walking past Bucket Hat Jeff, who's he's one of the ground screw guys. He goes, hey, you gonna wake up for this game? I don't know, man.
That's funny. He's still there. He'll get a kick out of you mentioning him in this interview. So, what?
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to finish it off yourself.
Yeah, that's
at what point did you kind of just say to yourself, hey, I'm finishing this time, and then you think back at all to the game in Columbia, 10 weeks prior?
Yeah, I think it was probably the 7th or 8th inning. I kind of went into the clubhouse. I remember walking up and down the hallway there a little bit, and I just kind of like went into the bathroom. I like washed my face and stuff, and I was like, all right, like I'm cruising today. Like, this is mine. Like, as long as I no matter what, I'm finishing. I want to finish this game, regardless of having a no-hitter or not. Like, I want to throw a complete game and, secure the win, because that was another 1-0 game as well. And a quick game too, because I think the other guy threw a 2-hitter, and both the hits were Henry Lartigue, I think.
Yeah.
And
1-0 games.
When I went. Yeah. And when I went out there, I was just kind of amped up, and it was kind of similar to like that Kevin Costner movie, when you're trying to like zone in, but you can't. I remember like kind of feeling that in the 9th inning, because like it was a kid's day, and no, it was I think it was For the Love of the Game, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry, you're right.
And the all the kids started going crazy, and then people were standing up and stuff, and that was when you kind of have a hard time like getting back into the zone a little bit to go pitch. And but I like at that point it kind of got all selfish. I just wanted to finish it.
Sure. Who caught that one?
Gregory Rivera.
And what was how many times did you shake him off? You said you never shook off Cabral.
What's impressive about the one with Gregory was that was the first time I threw to him that year in a game, and I can't imagine I shook him off much either, because he's a similar type of guy to Edgar. They really care about what's going on. They analyze the hitters, recognize your strengths, their weaknesses, and being a guy from I think he's from Venezuela.
Yep.
He made a real effort to like learn English, and was pretty good at it, and you could easily communicate with him, which is always like a sign of a really good guy for sure, that puts in that type of effort.
That game took 1 hour and 47 minutes. Do you remember how Lakewood scored their only run?
solo home run by Henry.
You got it. Hit by Henry Lartigue in the second inning. Yep, it was Henry.
Yep.
Yep. He had both. Lakewood had 2 hits.
Yep.
He had both of them. One was a solo home run. Now, you're from Long Island. You grew up in Long Island. You're in Long Island right now. That meant your parents got to come down and see you pitch in Lakewood a decent amount. Were they there at the second one against Charleston?
My mom couldn't make it that day. My dad was there, and he was sitting right behind the dugout. And there's actually a video on the internet of the last out, and he's in it briefly, and you can see him like throw his hands up. I think he came on the field after the game too, so it was really cool. Definitely a cool moment.
They were not in Columbia, right?
No, but they were able to stream that on the TV, I think.
Yeah, through the.
So they were able to watch it a little bit.
We're talking with 2017 BlueClaws pitcher Nick Fanti. Remember, everyone scores savings with Choosy, the free, easy-to-use app that gets your dental savings for everyone in your family with or without insurance. Save more, smile more. Visit Choosy at GrandSlamSavings.com. Brian Sweeney was your pitching coach that year, Nick. You have a really good relationship with Brian going back to the World Baseball Classic. What was that like working with him, and how did you guys work together that summer? And do you still stay in touch with him? He's now with the Indians.
Yeah, he was great for me. I mean, he was the first coach I met when I first signed as well, because he was in the GCL while I was there. And we kind of took to each other right away, just being from New York. And he kind of said, like, us New Yorkers have each other's backs, and I've kind of taken that with me. So whenever I come across a guy, I always try to help him out and stuff the best I can. But like working with him, it was great. I mean, he was big on the mental side of the game for sure, just how to handle stuff. One thing he always said to me whenever we would come out to the mound, like if I was having a rough inning, was, what'd you do in high school? Because this was all the way back to like GCL. He's like, what'd you do in high school to get guys out? I was like, through strikes. And he's like, well, why is that changing right now? And you turn around and walk away, and then typically I get out of the inning because I get back to, throwing strikes.
Yeah, that is the name of the game. WBC, you were Team Italy. He was your pitching coach. Looking back at that, what was your favorite memory from pitching in the World Baseball Classic?
Striking out TJ Rivera and thinking it was Carlos Correa because I didn't, because he was hitting for him that inning. And, that at the moment, like, and probably still to this day, that was the most people I pitched in front of. Like, I knew I was on TV, all this stuff, so I just wanted to make sure, like, I was just ultra focused on the catcher and nothing else. I tried to get out to the mound and like kind of do like a once around, like spin and, check everything out and take it all in. And then like when it was time to pitch, I would not look at the hitters. Just try to focus on the glove. And I remember in my head just kind of like keeping track of the lineup. And I was like, I wouldn't look at faces at all. And I was like, okay, Carlos Correa is up. And then I struck him out, and I got back to the dugout, and I was talking about the game. I'm like, yeah, and then Correa got up, and then Sweeney was like, that was TJ Rivera, right? I'm like, oh, man.
That's funny. That's funny. Did you have a favorite BlueClaws specialty jersey that we made you guys wear?
Still big leaguer and everything. That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Did you have a favorite BlueClaws specialty jersey that we made you wear?
Oh, I think there's one I have. There's like a parrot on it.
Yeah, the Margaritaville
Um,
one probably. Yeah.
I forget what night that was.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, the Margaritaville. I still have that one. That one's nice. I was kind of jealous I didn't get the picture on Harry Potter night because I like those jerseys too.
Yeah, Bailey pitched that one. I pulled that Bailey Falter. I pulled that picture up the other day for something. Nick, thank you
Yep.
so much for a few minutes. Stay healthy,
Mhm.
stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you out there on the mound pretty soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for having me.
You got it.